So we are rolling now, so we can just kind of make sure, you want to make sure we start off strong. So if you don't feel you started off strong, just jump right back into it.
Okay.
Let me make sure my phone is off. All right, good to go.
Ready? Hey folks, welcome to the show. I'm Brian Armstead. My sidekick here with me, Warren Brown. We're going to get to him in just a minute, but first, we want to let you know that when you watch this program, you're going to get the best in automotive journalism. We're going to talk about new car reviews. We'll talk about safety. We'll talk about the regulations regarding and surrounding the automotive industry, and we'll also talk about all the things that you want to talk about. But today, and today only, we've got an exciting vehicle for you. It's a 2011 Dodge Journey. Warren's had an opportunity to drive the Journey. Warren?
You know, Brian, we're also going to talk about governance, basically how this industry operates.
Right.
And in talking about Dodge, we're going to also talk about Chrysler.
Why would I want to talk about
Well,
Chrysler?
because everybody has been asking us, you've been getting these cars, I've been getting these cars.
Right.
We see Ford seems to be doing okay.
Extremely well.
We see GM seems to be doing okay.
Not bad.
What the heck is happening to Chrysler?
That's what I want to know.
Well, Chrysler is not a domestically owned company anymore. It's an Italian owned company, Fiat. And it seems that as though Sergio Marchionne, who owns Chrysler now via Fiat, is putting money into Chrysler's strengths. Jeep, Dodge, especially Dodge, and will be coming out with a small car, the Fiat 500. But if you really want to try to get an idea of how they're spending their money, you have to look at the 2011 Dodge Journey.
Now, I haven't had a chance to drive the vehicle yet, Warren.
Brian, this is my second or third time around driving this vehicle. Believe me, this is the best time.
Right.
This is the best sample. The first Dodge Journey was nice, but it felt cheap.
Right. That's been one of the biggest complaints.
Yeah, as if the old Chrysler and Dodge wanted to put in the cheapest material they could get in to give somebody that they call a crossover utility vehicle.
But in fact, Warren, that was kind of the hallmark of the Chrysler brand. You know, you got a good vehicle, but it was always a couple of steps below.
Yeah, it was always
competition.
I don't want to say that the 2011 Dodge Journey is beating Audi or Volkswagen. I'm not going to go there yet, but it's pretty darn close.
Wait a minute, you're saying that the interior of
I
this car
am
is
saying
Audi
that
like?
the interior of the 2011 Dodge Journey
Big statement.
is comparable to. I'm not saying better than, so don't beat me up.
Okay.
But it's comparable to something that you would find in Audi or something you would find in a high-end Volkswagen. And that's a surprise to me.
Let's talk a little bit before we go into the actual on-road driving experience, Warren. If this thing is Audi or Volkswagen-like in its execution, that must mean it's pretty heavily contented. What are some of the standard features that you have on your test model?
Well, first of all, let's just start with the materials. Everything is soft touch. Even radio dials and what have you. It feels rich.
Right.
Okay, it feels inviting. The model I'm driving has a high-end cloth interior, if you could imagine such a thing.
Yeah.
But it's the first time that I sat on cloth that I'm thinking, you know what? I don't care if this one doesn't have leather, because it feels good, easily clean, that sort of thing. You have everything that you can possibly have in terms of telecommunications, telematics.
So does it have, what's the telematics system? Is it Uconnect on the Chryslers?
No, I think it's an Infinity type base system.
Okay.
It's extremely done. Now, but I will say one thing, Brian.
It's Uconnect. Yeah, that's the.
Oh, you're just showing up. Okay, but I will say one thing. Uconnect.
Hey, the beauty of an iPad.
Yeah,
what can I say?
Yeah, well, but I will say one thing. Yeah. Well, okay, since it's Uconnect, because my next thing is not going to be so favorable.
Okay.
Almost everybody now who's doing backup cameras, it's almost a high definition, just really good. This one is marginal.
Okay.
It's
like a Pet Boy special kind of screwed on the glass.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good. The way it's
integrated.
It's integrated, but the actual photo, the actual camera work is nothing to write home about.
And I'm sure that on a foggy morning or a rainy morning, it degrades even
Well, it
further.
blends in
Yeah.
all too well.
Right.
But overall quality is just greatly greatly improved.
One thing I like about some of the Chrysler products is that they have this innovative chill zone, and it might not seem like an important feature, but when you can put several bottles of water or
Yeah.
cans of soda and keep them nice and chilled,
Using the center console.
yeah, it ties the AC into that.
Yeah,
That's a nice feature
you
as well.
have that. What I like about it is that it is a relatively compact crossover utility vehicle, but you can put up to 7 people in there, even though I wouldn't recommend persons.
Well, let's talk
6
about that a
and
little.
7.
Yeah, 6 and 7. I mean, are these real seats?
Too close.
Are these Warren seats or are these Brian seats?
Neither. Dernshaw and Brian's seats. I can tell you that right. I'm the one sitting on the high bench. No, the Dernshaw and Brian seats.
Right.
And also, I can't believe the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration really isn't looking into how close to the rear hatch or the lift gate these rearmost seats
Right.
are to the door.
But we could talk about this for an entire whole show, Warren, because if you look at the smart car, and if you look at some of the hatchbacks, some of these new hot hatches out, when I was shopping for a car for my daughter, she wanted a Volkswagen Golf or a Volkswagen Beetle. I'm like, no, you're going to have a car with a trunk that has some crush space.
Exactly.
So that's something that we'll talk about in another show.
Okay, yeah,
Look at the safety
yeah,
of these
but-
vehicles. But
but-
that's a good point.
But we're talking about the journey, the good points and the high, but the good points are that there's a recommitment to craftsmanship
Mm-hmm.
evident throughout the entire vehicle.
Well, it's certainly a good-looking vehicle.
Much better than the first Journey.
Absolutely.
Much better
It's
than the
cleaner
first
now.
Journey.
It's not as busy.
It's cleaner.
It's not as
It it's cleaner. It has some personality. It's not a bread box.
Right.
A bread box with a crossbar, which was I thought the ugliest combination around. This one looks like the crossbar belongs there.
Now, you don't have the base model. I see the base model retails for about $22,000. It has a 4-cylinder engine. You've got a little bit upscale. What's your trim level called?
It's a crew.
Okay.
The crew. And it's very.
So does that mean you and your homies can hang out, you and your crew, or what is
It
crew?
means that me and my wife can hang out, my homies can walk.
Now, you've got the V6.
Yeah.
What's it like on the road, Warren? Performance, fuel economy, talk to us about that.
Before we started shooting, today, and you asked me, is it the V6? I mean, is it the V6 or is it the inline 4-inch of the V6? And then all of a sudden, a light went off on my head. That's why I like it so much better on the road.
Right.
No drag.
Yeah.
Nice, smooth acceleration.
And it's not harsh like some of the four-cylinder motors.
Not harsh, and the sound is pleasant even.
Absolutely.
So there's a blend, and you feel like you want to drive it.
Well, Dodge has always kind of been the performance wing of the Chrysler, so they have a little flavor to the journey.
Well, what would
That's
tell
makes
me
sense.
if Dodge and Chrysler have really come back is if when I drive one of their new 4-cylinder engines,
Mhm.
it feels like something I want to drive.
Right.
Because before, Chrysler epitomized the whole ideal if you got to use a 4-cylinder engine, it's crap.
Right.
And we don't really care how it feels or how it sounds.
So now it's okay.
Yeah, but
in the era of $4 a gallon gas.
well, but also in the era of now 4-cylinder engines,
Right.
which is what we've gotten in.
And I think Ford really deserves a lot of credit with their EcoBoost technology, with kind of making
Exactly.
smaller displacement engines okay.
Smaller displacement engines that feel good, that don't lack power, that feels like it's something you want to drive.
Warren, we've got about 30 seconds left on this edition. Give us the final thumbs up, thumbs down, 2011 Dodge Journey.
Thumbs up for the Dodge Journey 2011, the crew version I particularly like, 6-cylinder engine.
Right.
I am not convinced, because I haven't driven it yet, in fairness, that the 4-cylinder engines are where they should be in terms of driving pleasure.
And also in terms of trying to hold 7 people around.
Exactly.
Folks, that'll do it for us for this week. He's Warren Brown. I'm Brian Armstead. Be sure to stay tuned. Another exciting edition is coming your way.